Right, guys, we are live for the commentary between the Reds and the Brumbies, just coming off a Super Rugby Aotearoa final, which did see the Crusaders win this game by 24 points to 13. And it should be a cracker of a game between the Reds and the Brumbies today as well. I'm really looking forward to this one. If it's even half as good as the one between the Crusaders and the Chiefs earlier, it's going to be a really fantastic game. And it's so vital to see how this game goes in the broader prospects of the Trans-Tasman competition that starts in a very short while as well. So really looking forward to that as well. Today we have the Brumbies versus the Reds. And let's go and have a look quickly through the starting lineup of this Reds, starting with the backs. We've got Bryce Hegarty, Jordan Patea, Josh Fluke, Hamish Stewart, Jock Campbell, James O'Connor, and Tate McDermott for the Reds in the back line. And when you look at this back line, you've got so many game breakers in Jordan Patea, Hamish Stewart, Jock Campbell, James O'Connor, and Tate McDermott. They've got a really, really good lineup in this back line. And I think if Tate McDermott can get quick ball from his forwards today, Tate McDermott and James O'Connor is going to have a ball in the back line with Jordan Patea. We all know how dangerous he can be. And Hamish Stewart will take that ball up quite tremendously for this Reds team. Let's have a look quickly at the forwards of this Reds team. We've got Harry Wilson, Fraser McWright, Angus Scott Young, Lucan Salakai Lotto, Ryan Smith, Tanila Tupou, Brandon Payenga Mosa, and then please don't ask me to pronounce that last name. Let's see if we can get it. Fioa Fotewak. I don't know. But we'll just stick with the Lucet prop there for him, or we'll just call him Fioa for the greater part of this live stream because I really can't pronounce his name. But if you look at this forwards of the Reds, Harry Wilson has been in tremendous form in the last couple of seasons and definitely one of the Australian stalwarts at this stage. And I'd expect him to have a massive game today. And then Angus Scott Young has been around for a few seasons now. We know what he's capable of doing, stealing balls on the ground. That is going to be his trademark today. And then Lucan Salakai Lotto is another guy who can bash it up front for this Reds team. And then obviously Thor Tanila Tupou has been in immaculate form for the Reds and for Australia the last couple of seasons, and probably becoming one of the best started props in world rugby at the moment. Brandon Payenga Mosa has been good. He's been really bursting his way onto the scene, and I'm really looking forward to that battle between him and the likes of Lonergan is going to start this game, but it is going to come down to the bench when Falau Payenga is going to come on. It's going to be interesting to see how Brandon Payenga Mosa stand his ground against Falau Payenga. And then that Lucet prop, we're just going to stick with Fioa because I'm struggling to pronounce that surname. It sounds like something like Fotu Ayaka. Fotu Ayaka. Don't know, but we'll stick with just the Lucet prop. Then on the bench, we've got Alex Murphy. Dane Sander has been good. Zane Nongor. Seru Uru. Liam Wright off the bench today for this Reds team. And really looking to see what he can do off the bench for the Reds team. Then Kalani Thomas, Isaac Henry, and Filippo Dalgunu. Probably their trump card in the back line when he do come onto the field. I am a little bit surprised that he don't start this game, but I mean the likes of Jordan Patea and also Jock Campbell. We all know Jock Campbell is a known fullback, so to have Bryce Hegarty at fullback today is a bit of a trump card for me. I would have started with Filippo Dalgunu in the starting lineup, but then again, I'm not the coach. I'm just doing the commentary, so I can just give my 2 cents on this. Then for the backs for the Brumbies, we've got Tom Banks, Andy Muirhead, Len Ikitau, Ira Simone, Tom Wright, Noah Lolicio, and Nick White. So a very formidable backline here for the Brumbies today. We've got Tom Banks, who's an exceptional player, probably going to start for the Wallabies as well in the Test series. But it's going to be interesting to see how he match up with Bryce Hegarty and Jock Campbell and Jordan Patea. And then Andy Murray has been really exceptional in the last couple of seasons. Len Ikitawa has been good for them. Ira Simone, we all know, got his cap for the Wallabies last season. He's been exceptional at that inside center. Then Tom Wright, we all know his capabilities. Noah Lolicio has been fantastic at 10. Probably my favorite player in this Brumbies side at the moment. And then the experience of Nick White will count a lot against the likes of Tate McDermott for today's game. But having a look at the forwards real quickly, Rob Valentini, Rory Scott, Nick Frost, Caden Neville, Darcy Swine, Alan Alalotoa, Lakeland Lonergan, and Scott Seo. So Rob Valentini must have a big game today. He's been one of their standout players as well. The likes of Alan Alalotoa up front and Scott Seo. We know it's that Wallaby stronghold that they've got at the moment there, and Lakeland Lonergan will benefit from having those two players right next to them. But for me, I think the forwards of the Reds just have a little bit more of a grunt when you compare these two sides. Not that I have anything against Rory Scott or Nick Frost or Kadea Neville and Darcy Swine. I just feel that having this quality side at your disposal, it's going to come either way. It could even go into extra time again, because we've seen how close these battles between these two teams have been previously in the season. And strangely enough, the Reds won both games going into this. So you'd expect them to be third time lucky as well. They are at home, and they should just be a little bit too much for this Brumbies side, who has dominated Australian rugby for the last couple of seasons. Having a look at the bench for the Brumbies, Falau Fainger, Harry Lloyd, Tom Ross, Henry Stowers, Luke Reimer, Ryan Lonergan, Rijan Pasitoa, and Mac Hansen. Good quality players, but do they have that X factor to break this game open? I don't think so. So I think they would go with their starting 15 for most of this game. Although Falau Fainger of the bench should make a massive impact. And we all know Rijan Pasitoa has not been bad, but he's just not been given that authority just yet to stand off in these games. So from my perspective, I do think that the Reds will win this game yet again. It should be a much closer game, though, and I'm backing the Reds to win this game by at least 6 points in the end. But I do believe that it's going to come down to the wire for this game. And then I do want to ask you guys, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to my channel for future live streams on this channel. So we all know that we still got 2 games coming on this channel today. We've got the Sharks versus Lions, and also the Bulls versus the Stormers in that North versus South derby. And it should be a really intriguing battle between those teams. So if you do want to follow South African rugby, I will be doing those 2 games later today between the Sharks and the Lions, as well as the Bulls and the Stormers. But for now, it is going to be very interesting to see who's going to walk away with the spoils today, as the Reds have won the last 2 previous meetings by the minimum of margin. I think there's a 4-point difference in the 2 games. So, yeah, I almost think that 6 points is a little bit too much, considering that there's only been 4 points between the 2 teams in the last 2 meetings. So, but I'm gonna stick to my decision, and I will say the Reds by 6 today. I have been spot on with the Super Rugby Aotearoa final. I did say that the Crusaders will win that game by at least 10 points. And in the end, they did manage to walk away with a 11-point victory over the Chiefs. So I would say Reds by 6 today should be very interesting. I think that home ground advantage will take them clear of the Brumbies today. We know the Brumbies have dominated Australian rugby for quite some time, but when the Reds are firing, they are firing. And there are talks that Brad Form's little experiment here at Suncorp was going to finally pay off today when they do win this Super Rugby AU final. But we don't want to talk too soon. Like it said, it's just my opinion. I think the Reds will win it by 6. What are your thoughts on this game, guys? Who is going to win it? Will the Brumbies put them again and prove that they're the best team in Australia, or will the Reds finally get that stronghold that they need under Brad Form to dominate going forward into the Trans-Tasman as well? I do think if there's one team that can beat the Crusaders from Australia, it is going to be either the Brumbies or the Reds. But it's going to be very interesting to see who walks away with the spoils today. And again, guys, I don't want to be like a broken record, but don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to my channel for future live streams on this channel. We will be doing South African Rainbow Cup. We will be doing the Trans-Tasman Cup. We will be bringing you the British and Irish Lions series to South Africa. That is going to be huge. We know that an announcement of the team has been made in this week. Lots of surprises there. Whether the Lions will have enough grunt to beat the Springboks, that's a question on its own. But a hell lot of rugby coming the way on this channel in the future. Last night I did Munster versus Ulster. Munster absolutely destroyed Ulster. So we are not just doing Southern Hemisphere, we're also doing Northern Hemisphere rugby, and basically going to try and do all the international tests that is available on this calendar year. So a big year to come for this channel, building up to the Rugby World Cup in 2023. I'm not just doing commentary, so I am doing a lot of rugby related stuff on my channel, but the two main things so far is the gaming channel, where I do Rugby Challenge 4. For those of you who don't know, it is the latest rugby game on PC and console for rugby, and we're doing plenty of games there. And then also we do these live stream commentaries just for those of you who cannot watch the game live on the channel. We all know that it's all becoming a pay-per-view thing, so you pay for what you view, and not all the people are able to do that. So this is where I come in. I do this commentary, and hopefully I do a good job, and you guys will enjoy this. So yeah, a lot happening on this channel. It's not just a gaming channel. It is not just a live stream. We do previews and reviews. I'm trying to get as many faces on this channel, so I'm doing a lot of collaborations with other channels like the Key Lads. I've done one with Gareth Mason from South Africa before, Skinny Brew Rugby from South Africa as well. Planning on doing a couple with New Zealanders in the coming weeks for the Trans-Tasman. And then also what I'm trying to do is get some known international and local players on for interviews. So for those of you who have been following my channel, I did an interview, I think it was last year. I did one with the Blues flanker, the USA international player. So I am still working on that. Hopefully we can get to a point where we can get some really international players on my channel. You guys just have to watch this space. Obviously these guys are not for free, so if we can get to a point where we get enough viewers that can actually pay for the interview with these guys, that would be very much appreciated. And like I said, they don't do it for free. So hopefully in the future we can get these guys on the channel. I just don't want to spend money that I won't get back. Even if I just draw level on that, no problem from my side. But we are going to try and get some really special players on my channel for interviews and stuff. So looking forward to the future of this channel. I've been rumbling about this for now quite a bit. For those of you who have just joined in, we're going to go through the backline just real quickly again of the Reds. We are waiting the start of this game. So in about a couple of minutes, we will go live to that game. Just waiting to see when it will actually start, because I don't have footage of the game just yet. So from the backs, Bryce Hegarty, Jordan Patea, Josh Fluke, Hamish Stewart, Jock Campbell, James O'Connor, and Tate McDermott for the Reds. Then the forwards, Harry Wilson, Fraser McBride, Angus Scott, Lucan Salakai Lotto, Ryan Smith, Danila Tupou, Brandon Payanga Mosa, and then that loose prop, which I just cannot pronounce, something like Fioa Fotu Akia. So if I did get it wrong, I do apologize, but it's just really difficult to pronounce this guy's name. So let's go through the bench real quickly. We've got Alex Murphy, Dane Zander, Zane Nongor, Seru Uru, Liam Wright, Kalani Thomas, Isaac Henry, and Filippo Daikunu. Then the backs of the Brumbies, Tom Banks, Andy Muirhead, Len Ikitawa, Ira Simone, Tom Wright, Noah Lalicio, and Nick White. Forwards, Rob Valentini, Rory Scott, Nick Frost, Darren Neville, Darcy Swine, Alan Alatoa, Lakeland Lonergan, and Scott Seo. On the bench for the Brumbies, we've got Falau Fainger, Harry Lloyd, Tom Ross, Henry Stowers, Luke Reimer, Ryan Lonergan, Rishan Basitoa, and Mac Henson. And I did put the Reds for a win by 6 points today, guys. I don't know what your thoughts are. Leave it in the comment. Who do you guys think is going to win this? Will the Brumbies show dominance, or will the Reds finally get one over their rivals, as they've done twice this season already? I do have a drink with me next to, just to wet the throat, because it does get quite hectic on this channel. Today we've got 4 live streams to do. So for those of you who have missed the Super Rugby Aotearoa result, the Crusaders have beaten the Chiefs by 24 points to 13 in their match in the Super Rugby Aotearoa final. And one have to feel that the Chiefs kind of let themselves down in a sense, because Damian McKenzie did miss nine points at goal, which at the time could have given them a 4-point lead going into that last 20 minutes. And also the Crusaders had 2 yellow cards. So they were playing with 13 men for about, well, they did play for 20 minutes, which was around 5 minutes, give or take, with 13 men. But for 20 minutes, they played with 14 men, and the Chiefs just couldn't break them down. Although those missed opportunities from Damian McKenzie was probably the difference between the two. And then the Crusaders, as always, just went ahead and destroyed them in that last couple of minutes. Just took authority and destroyed the Chiefs, getting those penalties and doing the job for their 5th consecutive title. So we have now footage of this game for the Brumbies and the Reds. The players currently in the locker room getting ready to run onto this field. Who do you guys think is going to win this? The comment section is really quiet at the moment. Like I said, it's going to be a cracker of a final, and I can see the Reds win this by at least 6 points today. We will just have to wait and see where we end up, because they have beaten the Brumbies on 2 occasions this season. And I do believe that home advantage will give them the edge today over this Brumbies side. But the Brumbies have been champions of Australia for quite some time now, and there must be a reason, like with the Crusaders. So I wouldn't throw away a victory by the Brumbies as well. But I am going with my love for the Reds today and say they're going to win this game by 6 points. The last 2 times these two meet, the difference between those 2 games is 4 points. So expect a really, really close game today. We might even see this end up going into extra time. Who knows? I, for one, really hope that we do get a close game, not one team running away with it. But I do believe that it is Bradford's here this year, as we see the Brumbies now finally taking the field in the Suncorp Stadium. It is Alan Alatoa, running out in the front for them. So a big task at the hands of the Brumbies, having lost 2 games to the Reds in round robin phase of the game. Tom Wright has been singled out as the main guy here. He's got 4 tries, 6 line breaks, 3 tackle breaks, 31 carries, and 101 post-contact meters in this season's competition. Right, so it is now the Reds coming out onto the field. James O'Connor, the captain of this Red side, and it is, in fact, the Pahenga Amosa who is running out in front, playing in his 50th game for the Reds today. Let's just have a look at that. So James O'Connor leading out the rest of the team, and they're all on the pitch now. So get ready for a really classic game. Tanila Tupou, the Thor of Australian rugby, is the main guy, standout performer here. 5 tries, 34 carries, 114 post-contact meters, 22 tackles, and 1 turnover. So he's one of only 2 props that have made over 100 post-tackle meters. So really looking forward to see how these guys line up against each other today. So we are going to have the national anthem of Australia, just like previously with the Super Rugby Aotearoa final. They're doing it a little bit differently to the Aotearoa final. They've lined up basically on the field, making a line to face each other. So it's differently from standing next to each other this time around. It's very interesting to see because I've only seen this on one occasion previously, and it is something new, I think, that the Australians are trying to showcase to us. So while we are looking at that national anthem, let's go one last time through this lineup. Backs for the Reds: Bryce Hegarty, Jordan Patea, Josh Fluke, Hamish Stewart, Jock Campbell, James O'Connor, and Tate McDermott. Standout those for me: Jordan Patea, Hamish Stewart, James O'Connor, and Tate McDermott should lead the charge there. Forwards: Harry Wilson, Fraser McWright, Angus Scott Young, Luke and Salakai Lotto, Ryan Smith, Tanila Tupou, Brandon Pahenga Amosa, and then the loose head prop Fioa Fotuaika, which I just cannot get pronounced today. On the bench: Alex Murphy, Dane Zanders, Zane Nongor, Seruuru, Liam Wright, Kalani Thomas, Isaac Henry, and Filippo Daugunu. The backs for the Brumbies: Tom Banks, Andy Muirhead, Len Ikitao, Ira Simone, Tom Wright, Noah Lolesio, and Nick White. The forwards: Rob Valentini, Rory Scott, Nick Frost, Kedera Neville, Darcy Swine, Alan Alatoa, Lachlan Lonergan, and Scott Seo. On the bench, we got Falau Fainga, Harry Lloyd, Tom Ross, Henry Stowers, Luke Reimer, Ryan Lonergan, Regian Pazitoa, and Mac Henson. And then again, guys, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to my channel for future live streams on this channel. We got 2 left after this. We've got the Rainbow Cup from South Africa, the Lions against the Sharks, and the Bulls versus the Stormers in that North versus South derby. Barry Green has joined in the chat, says, how's it, Guru? Was it a disappointing match? Well, if you really look at it this way, Barry, we always expected the Crusaders to win. And I did put them down for a 10-point victory. And in the end, the Chiefs had the opportunity to win this game, or at least to lead towards the end of it. But unfortunately, today, Damian McKenzie couldn't be that hero that the Chiefs needed to be. And for today's game, I'm going to go Reds by 6, just purely based on the fact that they are at home and they've got everything to lose. So I think they will come out firing. We know the Brumbies are the current champions, but I don't think that the pressure will be so much on them because they have lost to the Reds on 2 occasions this season already. So I might be wrong, but let's get into this game. It is going to be Nick Berry to referee this game along Damon Murphy, Amy Perret, and James Legge, who will be the TMO. So Nick Berry, the referee for today's game. We should get this underway now. It is going to be James O'Connor to start this game for the Reds. And here we go. A nice high hanging kick collected there by the forwards of the Brumbies. And now it is Nick White. Out it goes to Tom Banks, who's joined. A good little run from Ira Simone, taking it up for the Brumbies. Nick White, out it goes to Lonergan, who bashes his way up forward. Slow ball coming back for Nick White, though. Just outside their own 22 is the Brumbies. We've had about 30 seconds in this game. Nick White goes to the air with a box kick. It is a good hanging kick, but beautifully collected by the Reds. And now can attack on the 10-meter line inside Brumbies half. It is McDermott. O'Connor bashing it up is the sender now. Penalty advantage coming the way of the Reds. And an early penalty goes the way of the Reds. Salakai Lotte took that ball up for them, and just players not rolling away is the call on Michael Alalatoa, or Alan Alalatoa, sorry. So he has given away the first penalty of this game, and an opportunity here for the Reds to get the first points of the game. Barry Green always next year to try. Well, I don't think the Chiefs will be there. I think the Blues will be the team next season. We always say that. And then Sim Slayer says, England should appoint a Crusaders coaching team as new coaches. So Eddie Jones will be part of the England coaching squad for some time to come. And even Ireland as well are pretty happy with Farrell at this stage. But we might just see maybe Scott Robinson taking another job somewhere in Europe, because he's won it all with the Crusaders. So maybe it's time for a new challenge. In the meantime, it is going to be James O'Connor from the 10-meter line, right in the middle of the field, trying to put the Reds onto the scoreboard early on in this game. We've had 2 minutes gone in this game. The penalty kick is a solid one. It goes straight through. So the Reds are leading by 3-0 after just 2.5 minutes in this game. I am backing the Reds today, guys. Sorry, but I'm going to try and stay as unbiased as possible, because I do like the Brumbies as well. So it doesn't really matter to who win it, but I do like to be spot on with my predictions. Nick White with the restart for the Brumbies. A deep kick all the way up to Batea at the back, and a strong run from him carries it almost up to the 22. Now a pick and go from the forward. State McDermott out to O'Connor, gives it out to Bryce Hegarty, who's going to kick this downfield. Don't find touch. Now Tom Banks on the 10-meter line inside Reds half. On the run he goes. Murphy's got him covered. Payenga Amosa's got him covered, and that's going to be a penalty to the Reds for not releasing. So a great tackle from Payenga Amosa, and he gets the win for the penalty there. So a good start to the Reds campaign for this final. The Brumbies giving away 2 early penalties in this game, in this opening 4 minutes of the game. The kick has gone into touch. It's been taken on the 10-meter line. Salakai Lotto forms the maul for the Reds. Payenga Amosa controlling the ball at the back of this maul. Tate McDermott wants the ball, though. It needs to come out really quickly. Now it does. Tate McDermott out to James O'Connor. Puts the little kick ahead. Not a good one into the hands of Tom Banks. Gives it out to Tom Wright, who makes it straight, or straightens the line for them. Now Nick White again. Out it goes. Tom Banks again. Gives it out to the outside centre, who is, well, we'll get to that in a minute. They're still driving it up nicely. Is the Brumbies at the moment. Slow ball coming back for Nick White, though. Taking their time to release this ball off the back. He is going to go with a kick, the box kick over the top. And it is chased down, but Oh, little knock on there from the Reds, but the referee says it's gone backwards. So on the 10-meter line, oh, a penalty to the Brumbies. Player not releasing on the ground, Bryce Hegarty, and it is Muirhead who wins the penalty for the Brumbies. So Len Ikitawa took it in nicely for the Brumbies there beforehand, the player that I didn't know. So the kick from Nick White was a pretty spot-on kick, and then they managed to win that penalty off the ground for the players not releasing the ball. So 5 minutes into this final, a line-out now on the 22 for the Brumbies, or just outside the 22. It's going to be thrown in by Lonergan for the Brumbies. And Kadeira Neville and Darcy Swine, the jumpers in this lineup for the Brumbies. It is taken by Swine, but it's been overthrown a bit. And Tate McDermott's got it for the Reds on the 10-meter line. Now Fraser McWright, out it goes to Hegarty. Space opens up for Hamish Stewart. Now Tate McDermott breaks through the first line of defense. An opportunity here for Bryce Hegarty. Puts the little kick ahead. Was he taken out there? The ball's going to run all the way to the 5-meter line. Muirhead has got it for the Brumbies. Tries to run his way out of trouble and eventually gets it and kicks it downfield. It is rolling at the moment all the way up to the 22 of the Reds. And Danila Tupou has got it. He's going to try run his way. Oh, tries to throw the pass. It is loose. And it looks like the Brumbies might have possession here. They do get the penalty. Tanila Tupou penalized there, but what a breakaway from the Reds there, and quickly Tate McDermott hit the gap and then put the pass in the hands of Bryce Hegarty. The little kick ahead was Tom Banks, or did Tom Banks take him out? That is a question on its own, but Muirhead had a nice little dart, put the kick in, and then Tanila Tupou made a little bit of a mistake trying to get the offload there. So the penalty was for joining the ruck illegally, and now the Brumbies have a chance about 10 meters from the try line. 7 minutes gone in this game. It's 3-0 to the Reds, but the Brumbies have an attacking opportunity here in this lineup. About 10 meters from the try line. Lonergan just struggling with the lineout calls. Painga Mosa calling the ref for time wasting there. Again, it's Swine who takes it in. Loose ball into the hands of Lonergan. 5 meters from the try line now, Lonergan. Nice little run from him. Pick and go there beautifully by Scott Seo. They're 2 meters from the try line is the Brumbies now. Pick and go. Rob Valentini, about still 2 meters short. Nick White off the back. Gives it to Ira Simone. Now Delisio. Good tackle from Patea. Putting them back about 10 meters there, but Nick White's got it back now. Alan Alatoa taking it up. Nick White's got it off the back there, taken in by Darcy Swine. They've lost a bit of ground, 7 meters out now. Lolisio, Tom Bangs, good defense from Tate McDermott again there for the Reds. Now Nick White gives it out to Lonergan again. The Brumbies are still coming. Good little counter shove there from the Reds. Now Rob Valentini again. Nick White off the back. Well, they're on the 22-meter line now. It is taken forward by the flank forward for the Brumbies. Oh, big counter shove there from Patea. Nearly disrupting the Brumbies there. But Nick White's got it on the 22-meter line. Alan Alatoa. The Brumbies have gone backwards significantly. Now another chance. Swain, Lolisio. Good pass out to Muirhead. There's space here for Muirhead. He's 5 meters from the try line. Brought down there. Now Nick White. Out it goes to Lonergan again. But a penalty against the Brumbies. Players diving off their feet. And that is a big call. Penalty to the Reds. 5 meters from the try line. So they have survived this Brumbies onslaught very early on in this game. I thought Muirhead had a lot of space there, but really good defense there from Hamish Stewart. Not Hamish Stewart, Harry Wilson, and then also the likes of Fraser McWright. I think it was Angus Scott who made the initial tackle there. But unfortunately for the Brumbies, they have lost the penalty, and that wasn't a great kick. The lineout is going to be inside the 22 of the Brumbies. Oh, it's been stolen by Darcy Swine, and a penalty is coming to the Brumbies for disrupting the lineout, taking out the player in the air there. And a bad mistake there from the forwards of the Reds. Ryan Smith, the guilty party there, taking out Darcy Swine when he stole the ball in the lineout. So a chance now for the Brumbies to maybe get some points onto the board as well. Should be interesting. Oh, they've decided to go for touch, guys. Tom Banks are going to put this into touch for the Brumbies. 5 meters out. They want that try. If the Reds can keep them out now, it will be a massive psychological boost for them. Lonergan with the throw in. He finds again Darcy Swine. And they do make the maul at the backs. Lonergan's got it, but the maul has gone backwards. The Reds doing well to stop this driving maul. We've seen the Brumbies capitalize on that over the last couple of seasons. Still going. Now Lonergan, 2 meters from the try line again is the Brumbies. Can they get there? Oh, a little knock on there from the Brumbies, and it's been turned over by the Reds. They're going to run this from their own try line. It is Jock Campbell who puts it to the boot, and he is going to find touch. Roundabout between the 22 and the 10-meter line inside the Reds half. The Brumbies wasted opportunities early on in this game. Scott Seo knocking that ball on and costing them dearly there. So some really good play or defensive play from the Reds early on in this game. It's Brumbies all the way at the moment, doing a really good job so far. Lonergan with the throw in just outside the 22 now for the Brumbies. Let's see, Kadarian Neville has taken it in for the Brumbies. Now Lilicia to drive up by Valentini, but good defense again. Now Nick White, out it goes to Scott Seo, driving his way up. Now Lilicia gives it out to Tom Wright. He's got space here. 10 meters from the try line is the Brumbies now. Need quick recycle ball. Nick White. Here comes Darcy Swine again. Nick White. Out it goes to Valentini again. 5 meters out now. It is in a Simone. Lolacia steps back inside it goes. And that's going to be a try to Tom Banks for the Brumbies. Underneath the post. If I were the Reds, I would just probably have a look at a forward pass there. But it all seems pretty solid as the Brumbies goes over for their first try of the game. So 5 points to 3 with the conversion, which I don't think they'll miss. So I'm giving the Reds, the Brumbies 7 already. So if the try gets awarded, it will be 7 points to 3. Great bash up from Valentini. Quick recycle ball, Nick White. Then the loop around from Lolacia. Gives it back inside to Tom Banks. Now that's perfect. So try time to the Brumbies. And it should be 7 points to 3 after this move. Great play from the Brumbies. Just unfortunately, the Reds couldn't keep up the defensive effort. And they do get the try that the Brumbies so desperately needed. Right, so the leading try scorers in Super Rugby AU is Tom Banks now with 6 tries, and Lalicia has converted that. So 7 points to 3. We are after 14 minutes of play in this game. A great start to this Super Rugby AU final. Some really good play from both teams so far. And really looking forward to the rest of this game. Can't believe we've only had like 14 minutes already. So, yeah. The Brumbies gets the first try of this game. Courtesy of Tom Banks. So, a restart now from the Reds. A short, high-hanging kick. Collected by the Brumbies on the 10-meter line. Now, Nick White gives it out to Lolacia. who gives it out to Ira Simone, who got a bit caught behind the advantage line there. They need to release him. Now Nick White out to Lonergan. The Brumbies are now trying to put up the phases here, playing between forwards and backs. Now Lilicia, out it goes to Scott Seo, making their way up to the 10-meter line. Now it's the Brumbies. Nick White at the back there. He is going to go with a box kick over the top, and it is chased there by the Brumbies. Nobody wanted it. It bounces once, and it's going to be a line out to the Reds inside their own half, out on the 10-meter line. 15 and a half minutes gone. Painga Mosa already ready to throw this ball in. Possession and territory going to the Brumbies at the moment, 77 and 61%. Carries 20-9. Gain line carries 18-8. The line-out throw has been taken beautifully. Now a chance, Tate McDermott, James O'Connor. Patea finds a bit of space on halfway, tries to get the offload. Probably not the right option there to Jock Campbell, and it has gone forward into touch. So I guess that the Brumbies have a decision to make whether a scrum or a line-out will occur. It looked good for a second there from Patea, but some really good defense in the end by the outside center of the Brumbies, which is Len Ikitawa. Just couldn't get the pass out to Jock Campbell on that occasion, was the likes of Jordan Patea. But both teams are looking pretty solid on defense, and both teams' attacks are trying to get over that advantage line. The back weights for the Reds dominating the scrum, 942 kilos to 888. But you wouldn't say that if you look at the way the scrums are going at the moment. Good solid scrum, still controlling it off the back, but it is wheeling around. So we will have the first reset scrum of the game. We saw in the Crusaders Chiefs final, we saw 5 reset scrums, which equals to 5 minutes wasted in an important game. So this will be the first scrum reset of the game. About a minute gets wasted every time there's a scrum reset. Right, interesting so far. 17 and a half minutes gone. Brumbies lead 7-3, which have been the case in most of these games. And in the second half, the Brumbies comes back and wins the game. Nick White with the scrum feed. And a penalty to the Reds there. So illegal scrumming from the Brumbies and a penalty to the Reds. Basically on halfway for the Reds. Will James O'Connor have a shot? No, Bryce Hegarty will go for touch. So 18 minutes gone. And that scrum from the Brumbies, the front row is going down. So Tanila Tupou is causing some havoc against the likes of Scott Seo. Brendan Wire, what's your jungle juice? This is vodka and Monster. So it is a massive booster for this. I mean, I didn't do anything with the Crusaders game, but I'm getting into the vibes now. Line out to the Reds inside Brumbies half. Throw in, overthrow. Nick White's got it. Now Lilicio. Out it goes to Valentini, having a run upfield up to the 10-meter line. Nick White, quick recycle ball, gives it out to Alan Alatoa. Takes 2 to bring him down. Now Lilicio tries to break the gap. Got past the lock there, but brought down very quickly. Now here comes the Brumbies again. Tom Banks, Eras Simone driving it up. Now it comes out to Lilicio again. He puts it to the boot. But a bad kick from him, not getting any distance really. It's going to be a line out to the Reds, but it seems like there is a penalty advantage. Yeah, to the Brumbies for the Reds being offside. So in the end, it doesn't matter whether the kick was bad or not. Right, so it's been quite intriguing, a lot faster than the Crusaders Chiefs game, because I can feel I'm running out of breath a little bit with the pace of this game, and it's quite surprising. But I must say, Super Rugby AU has picked up quite significantly compared to last year, compared to that opening rounds where it was really dreadful to watch those games. The kick from Tom Banks finds touch just outside the 22. And the Brumbies have an opportunity on the 20-minute mark to go on the attack yet again. Right, so 20 minutes to go in this first half. Brumbies doing most of the plays so far in this game. Frame from Lonergan, it's been overthrown and collected by, well, not really collected by Fraser McBride. A little knock on, and now the Brumbies have another chance here. Ira Simone, just outside the 22, Nick White. Out it goes to Tom Banks. Good defense from Hamish Stewart there. Nick White again, Lonergan. Working his way upfield now. Nick White again, Lolicio. Now it's Alan Alatoa driving his way forward. Nick White again, Lolicio. Gives it out to Tom right off the back, but he loses it backwards. And it has been turned over by the Reds. Now Hamish Stewart got it, but he's bundled into touch by Tom Wright there. And it is going to be now a scrum to the Reds, I think it is. Oh no, we've got a penalty here coming for the Reds. A high tackle from one of the Brumbies players on Hamish Stewart there. Yeah, it was basically a neck roll from Tom Wright on Hamish Stewart. So chance now for the Reds to get into the Brumbies half and attack. Can they capitalize on this and get some points from it? Right, so 22 minutes gone in this game, 7 points to 3. The Reds trailing the Brumbies at the moment. Line-out throw from Painga Mosa, beautifully taken out. James O'Connor, Harry Wilson driving his way forward up to halfway. Tate McDermott. Now Hamish Stewart, James O'Connor with a little dab ahead. And it's going to find touch on the 10-meter line inside Brumbies half. So those little kicks working pretty well for the Reds at the moment. James O'Connor, probably the man that can make the magic for the Reds happen today. But now it's going to be Lonergan to throw in. He finds the likes of Darcy Swine, who they now form the maul. And at the back of the maul is Lonergan just charging his way forward. The Brumbies making some really good meters upfield now. It does go down now, and Nick White's got it off the back, puts it to the air. Tom Wright chasing, or Muirhead chasing into the hands of James O'Connor. Now Harry Wilson beats one defender, takes Ira Simone to bring him down. Now Tate McDermott, out it goes to the number 4 for the Reds. And now it's been kicked downfield by the Reds. It's not going to find touch. And into the hands of Tom Banks. All the way up to halfway goes Tom Banks for the Brumbies. Good support play now. Nick White out to Alan Latoa. Lolicio with a cross kick. That's going to work beautifully for Muirhead. He puts it to the boot. Chases on now. James O'Connor going back. Muirhead chasing well. It's been taken by James O'Connor 5 meters from the try line. Will the Reds be able to get this back? They've done brilliantly so. And Tate McDermott's got it now. Angus Scott Young takes it up for the Reds. They're about 3 meters from their own try line at the moment. Now Tate McDermott gives it to Tanela Tupou, bursting his way forward, making those hard yards, and a penalty coming to the Reds there. Stealing the ball illegally on the ground is Lonergan. And the Reds survive that onslaught from the Brumbies. I thought for a moment Muirhead could have been in there, but James O'Connor with brilliant cover defense and just showing his value to this Red side. Some bad news for the Brumbies is Lolicio, who is down at the moment, receiving some attention. Just want to go through this team lineup because I am having some trouble with the forwards of the Reds at the moment. So for the forwards for them is Salakai Lotto and Ryan Smith. Ryan Smith is the one that's throwing me out at the moment. And then for the Brumbies, we've got Kaderin Neville and Darcy Swan. And Rory Scott as the number 7 and Dick Frost as the 6. So I am struggling with those names because I'm not used to having them. But all the other players I'm fine with. But we have had 24 minutes in this game, and it's looking pretty good for the Brumbies at the moment. They're doing a pretty good job. But the Reds, when they do get opportunities, they are taking it as well. So we are in for an incredible game. Really looking forward to see what we can conjure up from here. Both teams have had brilliant breakaways. Bryce Hegarty for the Reds had a good break. Just that last movement's not going to hand for both teams. So in fact, it wasn't, was it? Let's see who was down injured. I can't see the number there, but it doesn't look like Lucia. So the penalty from Bryce Hegarty finds touch between the 22 and the 10-meter line for the Reds. And they will have to try and get out of their own half real soon. Throw-in taken beautifully there by Salakai Lotto. Now Fraser McBride off the back gives it to Harry Wilson, who drives his way up. Tate McDermott giving it out to James O'Connor. A little bit of a wobble there, but he's done well to get out of trouble. But then the kick is not a good one from him into the hands of Muirhead. And Muirhead puts it directly into touch, unfortunately. So in the end, James O'Connor's little mishap has worked out for them in favor of them. And it's going to be a lineup on halfway for the Reds. A pretty quiet game, this one so far. We've had a try from Tom Banks. One handling error each, not a lot. And then 41 carries from the Brumbies to the 12 of the Reds. And a beautiful take again by Salakai Lotto on halfway, but just a little knock on. And it's going to be a scrum to the Brumbies on halfway now. We've got still 15 minutes left in this first half. Right, close as expected so far, and very, very lively game. I must say I'm really enjoying this game so far. And it's very similar to that Super Rugby Aotearoa final, which I must say I also really enjoyed quite a lot. Right, so scrum feed on halfway now for the Brumbies. And it is Nick White to free the scrum. Let's see how this is going to go. Tanela Tupou crushing the Brumbies. And this is going to be a penalty to the Reds again. What a scrum from Paenga Mosa and Tanela Tupou. And then also from that guy, the lucid prop, which name I cannot pronounce. But they're crushing the Brumbies at scrum time. And maybe, just maybe, James O'Connor might have a shot here. Great penalty there off the scrum. Really that weight advantage. And just the way they're scrumming is really crushing this Brumbies side at the moment. Right, Tanela Tupou, who for me is probably the best tight prop in world rugby at the moment. That kick has gone into Tainga Mosa with the throw-in just inside the 22 of the Brumbies now. Oh, nice little move, and Paenga Mosa is on the charts here, 5 meters from the try line for the Reds. Needs to come back. Tate McDermott gives it up to the lock forward, and they're driving their way up now. Tate McDermott against Tanela Tupou. Penalty advantage coming for the Reds now, 5 meters from the line. Comes out to the lock forward, number 4 again. Just 2 meters short now. Nice try. This is going to be a try, surely. Or is it been held? It is a lucid prop for the Reds, who I think has dotted down for the try here for the Reds. Like I say, I'm struggling to pronounce his name. I'm going to try it one more time. It's Fioa Fotuaki or Fotu Ayaka. Foyota Ayaka, I think, was dotted down for this try for the Reds. Just hang on 1 second, guys. I'll be back. Sorry, guys, I just had a little small emergency, but we are still having a look at the TMO decision. And what I can say is initially it looked like he was held up, and that has been brilliantly done by the Brumbies. So I do believe that that ball has been held up, and we are going to come back to a 5-meter scrum for the Reds. Brilliant defense from the Brumbies there, keeping them out. Can't say that there was conclusive evidence that that ball had been grounded. Unfortunately, I cannot agree with that. So Ryan Smith has taken up quite a few balls there. Whether that ball has been grounded afterwards, but I think it was first held up and then it was grounded afterwards. So let's see. No try there, I think. Nick Berry is going to make the call just now. So no try, and we are going to come back for a 5-meter scrum, I think, or a penalty advantage to the Reds with about 12 minutes to go in this first half. And there's going to be James O'Connor to have a shot at goal here for them. Shouldn't have any problems with this one is James O'Connor. He's only missed 6 penalties this season, or 6 kicks this season, so you would expect him to get this one for the Reds. Let's see if he can slot this one. A very close game at the moment between these two teams, and it can really go any way because both teams' attack has been pretty solid so far. James O'Connor with this kick to come. Can he get this for the Reds? With about 11 minutes to go in this first half. That penalty has been slotted, so it is 7 points to 6 at the moment. The Brumbies lead here at the Suncorp Stadium, but it is all to play for. There's absolutely nothing in this game so far. Right, so with 10 minutes to go in this first half, 1 point the difference between the two teams. Nick White to get this game back underway for the Brumbies. And it is another deep kick in from the Brumbies. I would expect that they should start to maybe just kick it a little bit shorter. Patea has taken that up for them, but Rob Valentini has got the ball back for the Brumbies. And here's a chance with a little dab from Nick White. But it has been stopped by the Reds. But a penalty for not releasing on the ground against the Reds. Rob Valentini was the guy who did the damage to the Reds there. Jordan Patea should have probably kicked instead of trying to run it, because he did have plenty of time to actually kick that ball. And Harry Wilson just joining a little bit too late to get that ball for the Reds. And now a chance here for, I think it is Lolicio, to get the Brumbies back to a 4-point lead. So a bad mistake from the Reds there after just getting back into this game. We've got 9 minutes to go in this first half, guys. Lolicio has had, well, also 6 kicks missed this season. So both players doing really good on the kicking tee this season for the Reds and the Brumbies. But let's see if Lolicio can get the Brumbies back to within a 4-point lead. Like I say, 9 minutes to go in this first half. Let's see what's going to happen from here. Right, 1 point the difference at the moment. It is Lolicio with that kick, and it's gone through. So 10 points to 6 it is at the moment. The Brumbies leading the Reds here in the Super Rugby AU final. Can the Reds get some points before half-time, or will the Brumbies dominate the rest of this first half? We'll find out in about 8 minutes' time. Restart from Bryce Hegarty, another short kick, beautifully collected this time by the loose forward of the Brumbies. Nick White off the back, gives it out to Swine for the Brumbies. Now Nick White again, Lolacia. Oh, that was skinned off the side of the boot. Beautifully collected by Jock Campbell. And now there's a chance here for the Reds. Just outside the 22, Tate McDermott gives it to Nella Tupou, James O'Connor, Bryce Hegarty, Amy Stewart needs to straighten the line here. Knocks it on. Tom Wright's got it. And Tom Banks kicks it downfield. Nobody at the back at the moment. James O'Connor has gone back for it. And now it's going to run from his own 10-meter line. Puts it to the boot. Chased beautifully by Ryan Smith there from the Reds. The Brumbies do have it though. Nick White's got it at the back of the ruck. Now Alan Olatoa driving his way forward. Nick White again. Now they go wide is the Brumbies. The loose forward driving his way up again. Harry Wilson or Fraser McBride pinned there between the ball and the player. But the referee's fine with that. So 7 minutes to go. Nick White with the kick. The box kick over the top. Not getting too much ground. But it does come back to the side of the Brumbies. Lonergan in possession now. Nick White to Lololicio with the cross kick to Muirhead. Will Jock Campbell be able to get this? Yes, he does for the Reds. And now they do set the ruck. And Tate McDermott is going to snipe off the back. Tried to go on his own there. Should have given to Tanela Tupou. But they do have possession on halfway now as the Reds. Salakai Lotto, Hegarty, Bainga Mosa, back to Ryan Smith. Oh, tried to do the wild offload. And now in the hands of the Brumbies. Kick forward by Ira Simone. Nobody at the back. James O'Connor tracking back there. Good tackle from Rob Valentini. Is the support there for the Reds. They do come there in numbers. Now Tate McDermott. Out it goes to Fraser McWright again. About 7 meters from their own try line is the Reds. Taken up by Tanila Tupou. Good defense from the Brumbies. Tate McDermott off the back. Gives it out to Bryce Hegarty, who's going to kick it downfield and into touch. Oh, just inside the half of the Reds. So with 5.5 minutes to go in this first half, it is going to be the Brumbies who's going to have a chance to attack. Already leading by 4 points. We all know the Reds play second half, so it's always going to be about how many points the Brumbies can get before half-time. So replacement now of Mac Hansen coming on for Andy Muirhead, who seems to be injured. So Lonergan is going to throw this into the lineup for the Brumbies. Taken by Darcy. Swine overthrown and now taken by Fraser McWright for the Reds. They need support now. Coming Tate McDermott. Out it goes to Bryce Hegarty again. Kicks it downfield. Collected there by Mac Henson on the 22 of the Brumbies. And he's going to try and kick this downfield. And it looks like he's going to find touch on the 10-meter line inside Reds half. Stefan Engelbrecht says, hello, Guru. Chat long time ago, very busy, but he's back and looking forward to the games tonight. Stormers, Bulls, and Sharks, Lions. That is going to be quite interesting. So the throw-in from Pahenga Amosa on the 10-meter line inside the own half. We've got 4.5 minutes to go. Taken beautifully by Angus Scott Young, and a little knock on there from the Brumbies. So we will have a scrum now to the Reds on the 10-meter line. This game is just so hectic at the moment. Good play from both sides. Again, just that little mistakes, little knock-ons here and there. That's costing both teams at the moment. Not getting that momentum going for both sides at the moment. That was slapped down by Darcy Swine, and it should actually have been a penalty to the Reds there, I would say. But instead, we do have a scrum to the Reds with 3.5 minutes to go in this first half. Possession and territory to the Brumbies, 62 and 57%. Tackles been made 75 to 37 by the Reds to the Brumbies. Scrum goes down, so we will have another scrum reset. We've had 2 of those in this game. 2 minutes of valuable time wasted in this final. Right, so 3 minutes to go in this first half. Can the Reds do something magic? Or will it be the Brumbies? Who knows? It's been a tight game so far. Tate McDermott with this feed to the scrum. Let's see what happens from here. Right, solid scrum from both teams now. Oh, nice little scrum from the Reds again. Oh, it's a penalty against the Reds this time for wheeling the scrum. And this could be a chance for the Brumbies to go further into the lead. Will they go for touch or will they go for goal? 10 meters up or on the 10-meter line of the Reds. So it is kickable if they want to, but I would have personally gone to touch to try and see if we can get a try before halftime and also eat out some of the time left in this first half. Great scrum. I thought it was going to be a penalty against the Brumbies, but Danila Tupou punished there for wheeling the scrum though. And with 2 minutes to go in this first half, let's see what's going to happen. It is Lalicio who's going to have a shot at goal, though, on the 10-meter line. So we probably will have a restart before the end of this first half. Lalicio with the kick at goal. He's been pretty solid this season, having missed only 6 kicks this whole campaign. And 2 out of 2 for tonight. Noah Lalicio. It's either Lalicio or Lalicio. Let's see if he can get this penalty that will put the Brumbies into a commanding 7-point lead going into halftime. On the 10-meter line inside the Reds half with about a minute to go in this half. Can we see something happen here with this kick? Minute to go. Minute to go. The kick from Lalicio is going to be straight through. So 13 points, place 6 with half a minute to go in this first half. We will have time for the restart to this game. Sorry, guys, a little break up there, and we are back, and it seems like the Brumbies have gotten another penalty here on the stroke of half-time. So let's just see. Oh, Danila Tupou could be in some serious trouble now. Diving in. Well, not really. For me, it is a really good clean-out. So that is going to be half-time anyway. So 13 points to 6 at half-time for the Brumbies. And Well, as expected, I did feel that the Brumbies would be leading at halftime. And so, as expected, a really close game, 7 points difference at the moment between these two teams. But I do feel that the Reds will hit back at halftime and come back strong in the second. And really looking forward to the rest of the second half. It should be a cracker of a game. We are going to take a quick break, by the way, guys. So don't go anywhere. I will be back for the second half, and it should be a really intriguing battle. 7 point game. Can the Reds come back and do their magic here in the second half? We'll have to wait and see, but I will be back real shortly after a small Right, we are back for the second half, guys. It's been the Brumbies dominating this first half, but supporting the Reds today, I wouldn't say they're out of it just yet. We know that the Reds have come back on both occasions in the second half to dominate the game. So, but as far as this Super Rugby AU final um, has gone so far, it is the Brumbies really dominating the play at the moment. And as far if this continues, then I would probably say the Brumbies will be crowned as the Super Rugby AU champions of this competition. But with the Reds, you never know. They've got enough firepower in this backline to dominate and come back in this game. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to my channel for future live streams on this channel. I will be doing the Lions Sharks and the Stormers Bulls game a bit later today, so do stay tuned for that as well later today. But yeah, as far as this game has gone so far, the Brumbies pretty much dominating the play. The Reds have had their moments. They look good on certain aspects of the game and certainly not out of this yet. And they do have the support of the home crowd behind them. Will that be a blessing or will it be an omen? We'll have to wait and see in the second half, coming to you guys in just a short while. Having a look through the team's lineup just to see how the players have fared so far. Bryce Hegarty has had a good game. Jordan Patea made a bad mistake that led to a penalty for the Brumbies. Maybe should have kicked then rather than run it. Josh Fluke has been really quiet. Hamish Stewart has had a good game. Jock Campbell has been solid at the back. James O'Connor has had some good moments. Dake McDermott hasn't done anything wrong so far. Harry Wilson, Fraser McBride, and Angus Scott is having a pretty solid game for the Reds so far. And Selakai Lotto has also had a good game. Ryan Smith has been pretty solid for the Reds so far. Tanila Tupo, Brennan, Bayenga, Mosa has been strong in the scrums, along with Fioa Fotu Aika. So pretty solid from the Reds so far. For the Brumbies, Tom Banks have been really brilliant. Ikitawa and Simone has been solid, gaining that ground for them in the midfield. Tom Wright has been good. Noah Lolicio has been pretty solid. And Nick White also very demanding at the back of the scrum. Andy Murid has gone down injured. He's got replaced by Mac Hansen early in this first half. So yeah, it's been pretty solid. Rob Valentini has been pretty solid for the Brumbies. Rory Scott and Nick Frost have done nothing wrong. Kadera Neville and Darcy Swine dominating the lineouts at the moment. And I think that is where the Reds have really struggled so far in this first half, has been in the lineouts. And we did see that in the Crusaders-Chiefs game, where the Chiefs struggled to win their lineouts, and it cost them also dearly in the end. And then the likes of Alan Olato has been solid. Lachlan Lonergan has been good, and Scott Sear have been pretty solid, but they have given away one or two scrum penalties so far, which means that Tanila Tupo and Fayoa has been really solid for the Reds. Expect a couple of changes here in the second half, but for the most part, it's been quite an entertaining final here. Very much similar entertainment to the one between the Crusaders and the Chiefs earlier today. Again, like I say, thank you guys for the support so far. I see we've climbed pretty well in the support on the channel, getting about almost 25 new subscribers today. So I do appreciate the support from you guys. We are getting closer to the start of the second half. So within 40 minutes, we will know who the Super Rugby AU champions will be. And if it's anything as close as the Super Rugby Aotearoa final, then we should be in for quite a cracking second half here. I still do fancy the Reds to win this game. although they've got their work cut out here in the second half. So we're just awaiting the start of the second half, taking quite the time to get going again. Maybe I was a little bit too in a hurry to get back to this game, but it has been really entertaining rugby so far from both finals. And if that is going to be the challenge for the Trans-Tasman, then I'm pretty sure that the Australian teams will be right up there with their New Zealand counterparts for that competition. So the players have now run onto the field for the second half. James O'Connor needs to bring his guys together for the biggest 40 minutes of their career. Can they do this? That is the big question. These guys have been playing together for a while now in the Reds camp. So if there's any team that can come back, it will be this Reds team as we get ready to get the second half underway. The restart then by Nick White for the Brumbies. It's another deep kick in taken by Hegarty, and he kicks it into touch roundabout on halfway. So it will be the Brumbies with the line out early in the second half. Can this Red side come back into this game, or will the Brumbies seal this off early in this second half? Lonergan out to Swine again. Nick White. Lolasia, good pressure from Tate McDermott, and a knock on there. Now Harry Wilson taking it forward for the Reds. Tate McDermott off the back. James O'Connor gives it out to Patea, and there's going to be, well, it was obstruction there, so we are going to come back for that little knock on from Lolasia. Luckily there for the Reds, there was advantage played for that. Otherwise, it would have been a penalty to the Brumbies. So in fact, it was Tom Wright who knocked that ball on and not Lolasia. Right, so it should be an interesting second half, this, guys. Scrum feed to the Reds, just inside the half of the Brumbies. Scrum coming up. Tate McDermott to feed this ball into the scrum for them. The Reds have dominated scrum time so far. You can see on that point, Danila Tupou scrumming inwards, but a pretty solid scrum nonetheless. Tate McDermott's got it off the back. Out it goes to Hamish Stewart, and a chance now for the outside centre to make a bit of ground. Oh, good cover defense from the Brumbies, but it's a penalty advantage coming for the Reds. Salakai Lotto got it in possession for the Reds. Still going. 2 minutes gone in this first half. James O'Connor gives it out to Hegarty. Back inside it goes to Jock Campbell, but a forward pass. And we are going to come back for that penalty for the Reds. And maybe an opportunity for the Reds to get some points onto the board. Or could they be sneaky and try to go for touch? I just feel that in finals, you need to take your points at all times. Player coming in from the side was Ikitawa. So he got penalized for coming in from the side. And what have the Reds decided to do here? Just waiting to see what decision was taken there for the Reds. They are still deciding. So James O'Connor have decided that they should go for touch. So they want to equal the score here in this Super Rugby AU final. The kick from Hegarty finds touch around 10 meters from the try line. Chance here for the Reds. Can they hit back in this game? If they do get a try from here, well, it's actually 5 meters out, so a good attacking opportunity now for the Reds. Can they get this? Bayenga Amosa to throw this ball into the lineout. A very important moment in this game for them. Throw in collected by Ryan Smith. The maul has been formed. Now quickly off the back, Tate McDermott, Hamish Stewart, James O'Connor, loose pass out to Patea. Can Tom Banks stop him? He can't. It could be a try here, but I think he's into touch in the corner is Patea. He's done really well in the end, but I think the defense of Tom Banks kept him out. But I might be wrong, because this guy is very talented, and we will have to wait to see the replay here. But he doesn't look too confident. Nick Berry going upstairs now to find out if that ball was into touch or not. Oh, it's going to be a close one. It's going to be a very close one. Oh, just into touch. So no try, unfortunately, there to Patea. And it is going to be a line out to the Brumbies, 5 meters out. Bad luck for Patea. Good defense from Tom Banks. And that is a big moment in the game. Unfortunately, that pass from James O'Connor didn't find Bryce Hegarty, but it spilled out to Patea, and he nearly got in. Good take there from Kadera Neville for the Brumbies, and Valentini drives it up. Still 5 meters from their own try line. Nick White at the back of the scrum gives to Lolasia, who is going to thump this downfield and find touch roundabout, well, just outside the 22 of the Brumbies. Harry Wilson looking pretty dazed at the moment. Surely he will have to go for a HIA. He had 4 carries, 9 tackles, 1 line-out win, and 2 gain line carries. But he's looking very dazed at the moment. Not sure exactly what happened there. It was the charge from Valentini straight into the face of Harry Wilson. And he will go for that concussion test. But it is going to be a line out to the Reds just outside the 22 of the Brumbies. Big hit from Valentini on Harry Wilson there. And he looks out of it. It's not looking good at all. So on the bench then, I think it is going to be, let's see who comes on. I think it could be Liam Wright, who's going to replace Harry Wilson. So a good replacement to get onto the field here. 5 minutes into the second half. 13 points to 6 it is to the Brumbies. Ryan Smith throws or gets the pass out to Tate McDermott. Now Hamish Stewart taking up Tate McDermott again. James O'Connor, Patea has joined in the line there. Good defense again from Ikitawa for the Brumbies. Tate McDermott, James O'Connor taking up his Salakai Lotto for the Reds. Quick recycle ball, Tate McDermott, James O'Connor. Hitting it at pace is Tanila Tupou, and they still got possession. Tate McDermott, James O'Connor, Hamish Stewart again, making good ground. Penalty advantage to the Reds. James O'Connor with the cross kick here. It is chased by Jock Campbell, but well collected by Tom. Well, no, it is Mac Hansen who got the kick there. But it is going to be a penalty to the Reds right in the middle of the field, just outside the 22. I still feel the Reds will have to go for touch here if they want to stay in this game. I don't think 3 points will do it for them. Great little run there from Josh Fluke for the Reds. And then that kick from James O'Connor, just not dragging far enough for for Patea to chase there. And the Reds have decided to go for goal here. It should be a 3-point gimme, but you never know. We've seen with Damien McKenzie earlier today. He did miss some vital kicks in that Aotearoa final. James O'Connor, the highest scoring point scorer in this competition, with 108 currently, can make it 111 if this kick goes over for him. And we would be back to a 4-point game. Let's see, James O'Connor with this kick. Shouldn't be too difficult, but it is a final, so pressure could tell in the end. Penalty attempt from James O'Connor now. Right out in the middle of the field, just outside the 22. So on any given day, he would have slotted that very easily. And in fact, it hits the upright and a little knock on from the Brumbies. It is McHanson who knocks it on. So it is going to be a scrum to the Reds about 7 meters from the try line. So this could turn out to be a really good thing for the Reds in the end. Well, James O'Connor would probably go down and say, I planned that 100%, guys. But in the end, pressure took its toll on him, and it hit the upright and back off the post. And then a knock on from McHanson gives the Reds a good opportunity about 7 meters from the try line now. 8 minutes into the second half. Can the Reds capitalize on this? Big scrum from the Reds. Penalty advantage coming. And trying to switch the play out to Jock Campbell, but the pass wasn't a good one. And we are going to come back for that penalty. And if I were the Reds, I would go for yet another scrum here. They've dominated the Brumbies scrum quite a bit in this whole game. Jock Campbell not looking good. They've already lost Harry Wilson as the Reds to a concussion, so you don't want to see that. Angus Scott Young now at number 8 for the Reds. They tried to switch the play to the right, to the left side, but unfortunately just couldn't get the pass going to Jock Campbell. But he is looking fine. We've obviously got Daigunu on the bench who can replace this guy. And I'm wondering how long it will take before Daigunu does make his appearance into the side. Brad Fawn looking on anxiously from the Reds coaching box. Can this Reds team finally do it this year? So they have decided to go for goal again is James O'Connor. So they could maybe bring down that lead of 7 points back to 4 with this kick to come. Like I said, should have been an easy kick previously, but he missed it, and now he gets another shot at it. Can James O'Connor slot this one for the Reds? 10 minutes into the second half. We've got 30 minutes to play, guys. It's all up for grabs at the moment here. I would say this one is a little bit more difficult than the previous one, but he should maybe just get this. And this time round, it does go through. So it is 13 points to 9 now. The Brumbies leading the Reds here with 30 minutes to play. Can the Reds come back? They are taking little bites on that 7-point lead at halftime. So hopefully the Reds can still do this. But the Brumbies now solidly firm favourites to win it. Nick White with the restart. Taken by Bryce Hegarty, who puts it to the boot. And he's going to find touch around halfway. It's line out throw to the Brumbies. 29 minutes to go in this game. Who will be crowned Super Rugby AU champions of 2021? Line out throw is going to come from Lonergan now. Let's see if the Reds can do something. No, it's been taken well there by the Brumbies. And they have set up the maul here. Going forward pretty good at the moment is the Brumbies. Over halfway they go. Slowly working their way upfield now. Kick over the top from Nick White. Nobody really chasing after that. And James O'Connor makes the mark quite easily inside his own 22. James O'Connor looking pretty solid for the Reds at the moment. Taps it really quickly and now kicks it downfield, straight down the middle. Not going to find touch, finds Nick White. And now a chance here for the Brumbies to attack. Tom Banks. Tom Banks, out it goes to Ikitawa. Up to halfway goes the Brumbies. Quick recycle ball. Nick White got it. Lonergan. Now Lolasia. Good little drive there from the forwards of the Brumbies now. Lolasia again gives it out to Tom. Well, it is McHanson who takes it up to the 10-meter line. Nick White again. Now it goes out Lolasia. Ikitoa have to kick this. Puts it onto the boot and finds space. And it is going to run into touch inside the 22 of the Reds. Quickly thrown in by the Reds, and now it's been kicked downfield. Not going to find touch into the hands of Tom Wright on halfway. He's going to have a run on the 10-meter line, still going. Brought down by James O'Connor. Nick White. Out it goes to the loose head forward. Now let's see Lonergan again. Oh, it's been ripped there by Tanila Tupa, but comes back to Alan Toa. The Brumbies still on the attack now. Good counter shove or counter ruck from the Reds, but it does come back to the Brumbies side. Going backwards at the moment. Ikitawa driving his way forward. Now Nick White. Out it goes to Swine. Lolasia, Tom Banks. Good little pass to the number 6 there. Setting up the ruck for them. Good counter ruck again from the Reds, but it comes back now. Darcy Swine. A little knock on there from Darcy Swine, and it is going to be a scrum to the Reds. So just that little handling errors, just killing the flow of the game just a little bit at the moment. Overall, a good passage of play from the Brumbies. Great tackle from Angus Scott Young there. Just putting the pressure on the Reds at the moment. They just need to maybe eat up some of this pressure the Brumbies are giving them. And I do believe that they've got the best attacking backline in this competition. So maybe a little gap here or there could make a big difference. So Fioa has gone on and Dane Zander is now onto the field. Bainga Mosa has been replaced by Alex Maffey. So they're starting to bring in those changes for the Reds now. Will those changes make a difference? We know Dane Zander is a youngster coming through very nicely. And also Alex Maffey, very strong player. The Reds have won both games as the Brumbies this season, went behind at halftime. So could we see another game like that on the horizon here? We've got 25 minutes left of this game. Tate McDermott with the scrum feed. Another big scrum. Angus Scott Young got it off the back now. Change the direction. James O'Connor puts a little kick ahead, but into the hands of McHanson. But there will be a penalty to the Reds. They are really destroying the Brumbies at scrum time at the moment. Really good work from the Reds forwards. Front row collapsing yet again from the Brumbies side. 25 minutes to go, guys. The Reds 9, Brumbies 13. All to play for in the second half. The Reds were trailing by 13 points to 6 at halftime, so only the penalty so far in the second half. The kick downfield finds touch on the 10-meter line inside Brumbies half. Reds throwing to this lineup. Alex Maffey, the replacement hooker, as well as Lakeland Lonergan has been replaced by Falau Fainga for the Brumbies. Throwing Ryan Smith to Tate McDermott. Now James O'Connor, first receiver, gives to Hamish Stewart. Up to the 10-meter line goes the Reds now. And a little knock on there from Hamish Stewart. And it's going to be a scrum down to the Brumbies on the 10-meter line. Really disappointing there from Hamish Stewart. He's been pretty solid in the midfield for this Red side so far. But like I said, it's just this little knock-ons and unforced errors at the sides of both teams, really. Just killing the contest at the moment. And not allowing one team to get the advantage over the other one. Just relying on those kicks and the penalties at the moment. Brumbies obviously scoring a brilliant try in the first half to take the advantage into this game. Scrum feed pretty solid from the Brumbies. Now Nick White off the back puts it to the bird, trying to find some space, and he has found it. It's going to be going into the hands of Jock Campbell. Now Bryce Hegarty is going to kick this downfield, and the Brumbies have gained meters because that ball has gone out on the 10-meter line inside Reds territory. So with 23 minutes to go in this game, that kick from Nick White, a pretty decent one. Players scored out of position, and then Bryce Hegarty had to rush it and only found touch on the 10-meter line. Good throw in taken by the Brumbies. Now here they come. It is Ira Simone taking it up, bashing it up. Nick White. Now it is Scott Seo gaining good ground up to the 10-meter line. Now Nick White again. Lolasia straightening the line. Good defense from the Reds. And a penalty for holding on the ground goes against the Brumbies there. Oh, trouble here for the Brumbies. It was a late hit there from Darcy. Well, it is Darcy Swine who made a late tackle there on one of the Reds players, and it's a little bit of argy-bargy at the moment from both teams with 22 minutes to go, but it is going to be a penalty. Surely the Reds there. Firstly, for holding on the ground was Lolasia, and then obviously the late charge by Darcy Swine after the whistle have gone. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, nothing in it really. Salakai Lotto taking grievance on that late hit from Darcy Swine, but really nothing in it. I don't think Darcy Swine really heard the whistle go at that stage. So, yeah, it's just showing the replay a little bit. So unnecessary of these guys to keep showing this because it's not really in the spirit of the game, really. So, will we see anything else being done about that? No, I don't think so. Bryce Hegarty will kick this into touch for the Reds. Will find touch on the 10-meter line inside Brumbies half. So another opportunity now for the Reds with 22 minutes to go in this game. Can the Reds do some magic to get in front in this game, or will the Brumbies defense hold out? Murphy with the throw. Ryan Smith has got it now. Tate McDermott. Hamish Stewart off the back it goes. Tate McDermott again. Change of direction. James O'Connor into the hands of Patea. Patea's looked dangerous when he had ball in hand, but not getting ground on that occasion. James O'Connor, Angus Scott Young to Ryan Smith again. They're stuck on halfway at the moment. Hamish Stewart, James O'Connor, little passes. That one's not going to go to hand and into touch. Unfortunately, there, Fraser McBride couldn't keep hold of the ball, and it runs into touch. It is going to be a line-up to the Brumbies. Good defense. Just not allowing this Reds team any opportunity at the moment. Even Liam Wright not having any opportunity at the moment. They've got the players. They just need the moment of magic. Who will be that team to get that moment of magic in this game? Falau Fayenga with the throw-in. Finds Darcy Swine again. Good driving maul set up by the Brumbies, but it goes down. And legally so. So Nick White now with the ball at the back of this ruck going up into the air. It's going to be chased down, but it is beautifully taken by James O'Connor. Now there's a chance here for a counter-attack. Oh, thumping tackle from Rob Valentini, just stopping that movement almost immediately. James O'Connor again. There's men aplenty on the outside. They need to go through the hands here. It is Fraser McWright up to the 10-meter line. Tate McDermott, Bryce Hegarty, now Salakai Lotto taking it up. Oh, still comes back to the side of the Reds, but there is going to be, is it a penalty against the Brumbies or just a little knock on? Or are we going to see something from the touchline here? It is going to be a TMO decision, so not quite sure what happened there. But let's have another look at this. Oh, no. Rob Valentini with the shoulder to the head of Jock Campbell there. And that could be a red card now to the Brumbies, surely. Yeah, that's going to be his marching orders, surely. Unfortunately, this is the game of rugby. You are always going to have that one moment in the game that could change the outcome of the flow. And unfortunately there, Rob Valentini going too high, shoulder to the head, and that should be a straight red card against Valentini. If the referee wants to be a little bit lenient, he could opt to go for a yellow card. But for me, according to the rules of the game, that could be a straight red card to Valentini. And it's such a pity because he's had a brilliant game for the Brumbies today. It's very similar to the ones of the South African player, Willie Engelbrecht, last week, who got 2 yellow cards. So maybe, hopefully, this is only a yellow card to the Brumbies. But by the looks of it, straight shoulder to the head, I think that could be a red card coming for Rob Valentini. And that with 20 minutes to go will mean that they won't be able to bring on another replacement after that, which will mean that the Reds will be playing with 14, or the Brumbies will be playing with 14 men for the rest of this game. So let's see. Hopefully it's just a yellow card. Just waiting on the referee decision now, talking to Alan Alatoa. And luckily for Valentini, it's only a yellow card. So it's going to be 10 minutes on the bin for Rob Valentini. So lucky. So lucky. So they will be back to full force with 10 minutes to go in this game. But in the meantime, 20 minutes left, 13 points to 9, and an attacking opportunity here for the Reds on the 10-meter line inside Brumbies half. And the line-out's been beautifully taken by them. Now a chance here, Tate McDermott, James O'Connor. It comes out to Jock Campbell with a little kick ahead. There's space here for Patea, but beautifully picked up by Tom Banks. Or no, McHanson off the back. He offloads to Tom Banks. And it seems like the Brumbies are out of trouble here as Nick White's got it at the back of the ruck for him. Taken in by Scott Seo for the Brumbies there. About 10 meters from their own try line is the Brumbies now. Nick White just setting it up, and a good kick from him is not going to find touch, unfortunately, and a chance now here for James O'Connor. James O'Connor is going to have a run at them. Beats 2 defenders. Still going is James O'Connor. Oh, it's been snatched by the Brumbies on the ground, but illegally so. And another chance now for the Reds. Will they go for goal or will they go for touch from here? This is starting to become very interesting at the moment. It could go either way at the moment. If I were James O'Connor, go for goal. Make it a 1-point game and enforce the penalty a few minutes from time. Great stepping from James O'Connor there. And then, close call there. Could have just as well gone against the Reds there for holding on, but in the end a penalty for leaving their feet. And James O'Connor will have this shot at goal to see if they can reduce the deficit to only 1 point with 17 minutes to go in this game. Can he get this and make it a 1-point game? We know he's missed one, but the penalties were so close to each other that I don't think it would have made a difference had he not kicked it over. So 3 successes out of 4. Can he get this? There's 7.5 minutes left on the Brumbies yellow card. Jordan Patea has left the field and Filippo Dargunu is now on in his place. A big loss for the Reds here. Meantime, James O'Connor lining up for this kick. 11J said, I hope Reds come back. Would like to see them win. Do you think the Sharks do well later on with the Lions? I do believe that they will win the Lions. But let's see if James O'Connor can reduce this deficit to just 1 point with about 16 minutes to go. That kick is solid, straight through the middle, and it is now 12 points to 13 in favor of the Brumbies. So we're going into a tense final minutes of this game. We've got 16 minutes left of this game, still 6 minutes. Yellow card for the Brumbies. Rob Valentini could have considered himself very lucky not to get a red card earlier for that high tackle on Jock Campbell. So Nick White to restart this game. Gets another deep kick, this time collected by Daikunu, who's just come onto the field. Makes a good bash up there, and he's taken it to ground. Now Tate McDermott gives it out to Ryan Smith, bit isolated there, but they do get it back eventually. Now comes out to James O'Connor, puts it to the boot. A high kick chased down by the Reds. Beautifully collected by Lalicio in the air. Now Nick White. Out it goes to Falau Fainga. Good chance here. Simone out to the loose head flanker there. Good tackle on him. And it is coming back to Nick White on the 10-meter line. Alan Aratoa taking it up for the Brumbies. Good defense, Angus Scott Young. Lolasia now again a good drive from the forwards from this Brumbies side. Tried to rip the ball from Darcy Swine there, but comes back. Lolasia, Tom Banks takes it up, tries to beat the defense of Salakai Lotto and also the outside center. 5 phases now working their way up is the Brumbies. Still on the 10-meter line, losing a bit of ground at the moment. Ira Simone, Tom Wright with a kick ahead. That's going to find space and run to touch deep inside the 22 of the Reds. 11J said, asking, why is Patea leaving? Injured. It looked like he got a little knock there and had to leave the field, unfortunately, because it could have been very interesting if Patea and Daikunu would have been on the same field or on the same pitch for that last few minutes. But it does look like an injury to Patea, unfortunately. That ball is overthrown and advantage to the Brumbies now inside the 22 of the Reds. This could be a big moment. Ira Simone with a kick ahead, but Bryce Hegarty gets back for it. But we will go back for the knock-on from the Reds in that line-out. Big moment coming up, 14 or 13 and a half minutes to go. 12 points to 13, the Reds trailing by a single point. Can the Brumbies hold out for yet another Super Rugby AU victory today? 13 and a half minutes to go. Big moments. They are down injured at the moment. Scott Seo just receiving some attention. Can the Reds turn this around, or will the Brumbies seal this with just 13 minutes to go in this game? Scrum to the Brumbies inside the 22 of the Reds. Can the Reds get one more big shove and force a penalty here? There is a replacement, Harrison Lloyd, replacing Scott Seo at loosehead prop. Could this be the difference then for the Brumbies? We also know that Tom Ross has also come on to the field, and now Scott Seo looks to be injured. That's why he's leaving the field. Big scrum coming up here for the Brumbies. This could win or lose them the game. Scrum feed from Nick White. Another reset scrum. So In this game, we've had 3 reset scrums. That's 3 minutes of wasted time. In a close final like it is at the moment, 1 point, that 3 minutes is vital. Right, so we are going to have this reset scrum, Falau Fainga, Alan Toa, and also the likes of Harry Lloyd. Now we'll have to have a big scrum against these forwards of the Reds, Danila Tupou, Alex Muffy, and Dane Zander. That scrum has gone down again, and we are going to have yet another reset scrum. So make that 4 minutes wasted now in this game. 4 minutes, vital minutes that could have been used so much better in this game. It's also helping the Brumbies because they still got about 2 minutes for Rob Valentini in the sin bin. So it's only the Reds losing out at the moment. They're trailing by a point. The Brumbies got a man in the bin, and we've had 4 wasted minutes in this game already through reset scrums. So let's see, big scrum for this game. This could make or break it. Big scrum from the Reds again, but Nick White gets it all up to the back now. It is Ikitawa taking it up for the Brumbies. Nick White again. Now Lulasia tries to sidestep his way there, but there is a penalty advantage to the Brumbies, and that is a big call. Penalty right in front for the Brumbies, and they could make it 16 points to 12 with about 10 minutes to go in this game then. Angus Scott Young, the guy penalized there for a high shot on Noah Lolasia. So Lolasia will have a shot at goal, and I doubt that he will miss this. So the Brumbies will go up to 16 points with this. So it's a 4-point game. So it will be all up to the Reds to win this in the last 10 minutes of this game. And I'm sure that after this kick, the Brumbies will be back to 15 men as well. Noah Lolasia. He's had a pretty solid game today for the Brumbies. And plenty of standout performers in this game for both sides. I mean, the center combination of, what is it? The backline of Len Ikitawa and Ira Simoni, Tom Wright, Tom Banks, Lolasia, and Nick White has been all solid for the Brumbies in this game. While for the backs, for the Reds, Hegarty, Patea, Watt, Stewart, Campbell, O'Connor, and Tate McDermott, pretty solid as well. So there's still about 20 seconds left on that yellow card for the Brumbies. So they will have to restart this game still with 14 men, but 16 play 12 with 9 minutes to go. Can the Reds find something and win this final? Or will the Brumbies hold out for yet another Super Rugby AU trophy in the bag? We start from Hegarty, taken up by Falau Fainga, just inside the 22 of the Brumbies now. Nick White at the back of this ruck is controlling it, puts it to the boot, and he is going to find touch roundabout on the 10-meter line inside their own half. So this is a big moment. 9 minutes to go. Reds in possession. Can they do this? They have done it twice this season, coming from behind in this first half to win it in the second. So can they do it again? It's tight. It's so tight. 4 points the difference here between the two teams. Luke Reimer has come on for Rory Scott as well now for the Brumbies, and also Ryan Lonergan on for that. Ryan Lonergan on for Nick White. So that lineout goes horribly wrong for the Reds, and it is going to go into touch yet again. And I think this time around it is going to be a Brumbies lineout throw on halfway. Yeah, that jump, they did have the ball, but unfortunately it was too sloppy at the back of that receiving end, and it went into touch. So throwing for Falau Fainga. Darcy Swine just calling the shots there for them. On halfway, thrown to Falau Fainga. 8 minutes to go. It's all to play for. Taken in beautifully there by Darcy Swine. And they form them all on halfway. They shouldn't give away a penalty now because that could mean the end of their chances. Lonergan out to Valentini, who's also back on the field now. Charging his way up to halfway is the Brumbies. Lonergan again. Now McHanson trying to step his way through there. Caught by Salakai Lotto. Now Lonergan again. Swine, Lodesia, that looked forward. So a forward pass from Lodesia. And it is going to be a scrum to the Reds on halfway. Roundabout in the middle of the field. 7 minutes to go. Good tackle from the flank forward of this Reds. It is Fraser McWright who made that valuable tackle on Lodesia. And now it is a scrum to the Reds on halfway, middle of the field. Can they do something with this? 4 points difference at the moment. Possession and territory going to the Brumbies, 60 and 56%. The only team to manage 7 phases plus. 2 of them. 76 carries to 56 of the Reds. 63 gain line meters. 116 tackles, almost double the tackles from the Reds. More than the Brumbies. So now there's a chance here. Let's see what they can do. James O'Connor, there's a breakaway here from the Reds. The outside centre going up to the 22-meter line. This is a big moment coming for them. Slow ball, penalty advantage. And here they come now. Tanilla Tupou, but he leaves the ball behind. And it is a penalty to the Reds. Right in the middle of the field on the 22-meter line. Great breakaway from Josh Fluke there into space. Brilliant breakaway from him. Just didn't have the support on that moment to offload it. But it is now an opportunity for the Reds. They have to go for touch. They can't go for the penalty now with 5 minutes left. Surely common sense will prevail here. They need to go for the corner. Let's see what they're going to do. 5 minutes to go in this final Super Rugby AU. What can the Reds do from here? It looks like they've decided to go with the scrum here on the 22-meter line. And like I said, it's in the middle of the field. So attacking options either side of the field here for the Reds. I personally don't think it's the right decision. I think they should have put that into the corner 5 meters out and try their luck in the lineup. But again, the scrums have been solid, so they could force another penalty from here and maybe force another yellow card going into this last minute. Uru has put that in. The scrum is going sideways, and it is going to be a scrum reset again. So 5 minutes wasted in this game on scrum resets. Pretty much the same as the Super Rugby Aotearoa final. The only difference, this can still go either way with just 4 minutes left in this game. Let's see if the Reds can do this. It was a big scrum from the Brumbies as well. So nail-biting stuff here towards the end, guys. Can go either way. Clearing my throat, as my voice might disappear real soon if the Reds can get that winning try. Scrum is good. Now they go. James O'Connor. Oh, it's been intercepted by the Brumbies, but they are going to come back for yet another penalty. Wow. That would have been the ball game had McHanson got the opportunity to run that ball. So another penalty right in front. I think they would be safer to go for touch here. Honestly speaking, get that ball out 5 meters from the try line, try the driving maul, and win this game. That's exactly what they're going to do now. Bryce Hegarty going for the touch. He is going to find touch 5 meters from 6 or 7 meters out. Big moment coming up. 3 minutes to go in this final. Can the Reds do this? It's coming down to the wire, ladies and gentlemen. Alex Murphy has got a really big throw coming up here. This will determine who the champions will be, surely. Taken in beautifully by the replacement lock forward. And the maul has been formed. They're going forward here. Here's the Reds. They're about 3 meters out now. The backline has joined in. This could be it. Penalty advantage coming for the Reds. They need to be careful now. Here's the Brumbies here. But it should be Reds coming away with this. The penalty is coming and a yellow card coming for the Brumbies as well now. It is going to be Darcy Swine who will get the yellow card here. And he's been begging for it all day long. So with 14 men, the Brumbies will have to play this last 2 minutes. And it is the Reds with the advantage. Now I would go for that scrum. Scrum them to pieces now. 5 meters from that try line. This is the moment of glory for the Reds. Can they do this? Will they go for touchline or will they go for that big scrum? They've decided to go for the line out again. And I expect exactly the same move coming up. I think it will be going to the likes of Zayn Nongor and Seru Uru. Oh, it's been overthrown and into the hands of Lolasia for the Brumbies. What a mistake from the Reds with just 2 minutes to go in this game. That could be the difference between winning and losing. I told you they had to go for the scrum there. Wow, what a big mistake. And that ball has been kicked out by Lolasia all the way up to the 22-meter line. 2 minutes to go in this final. How could you not get your line-out throw right there? Why, James O'Connor, why didn't you go for the scrum there? You guys have been dominating it the whole day long. Having the man advantage as well. Bad choices in the end. Could cost the Reds the title here today. And in fact, it is going to be a line-out to the Brumbies because the Reds have touched that ball. Throw in from Falau Fainga. The ball supposed loose into the hands of Fraser McWright. And the Reds will have one last chance here with a minute to go. Tanila Tupo up to the 5-meter line they go. Quick ball required here, or patience at least. Taken by Uru. Penalty advantage coming here for the Reds again. This is going to come down to the wire. 3 meters out is the Reds now. Uru picks and go again. 1 meter short now. This is what finals are made of. Great pick and go from Alex Murphy. Fraser McWright. He's up against the poles. But just couldn't get it down. And 1 meter short of the try line here. 10 seconds to go in this game. It is there at the back. Can they control this? They go, and they're still short. 1 meter short is the Reds from the try line here. The time is up on the clock, so if they can get this down, they will win it. They can't see the ball there, and time is up on the clock. Is there a penalty advantage to the Reds? The referee is going to go to the TMO now. I think Danila Tupo says he's happy. He wants to try, so he's 100% confident that the referee or the TMO will see a try being scored there. I wonder if there will be an opportunity for another penalty if this try cannot be awarded. So from this angle, you cannot see a try being scored, unfortunately. From this angle, there's no way of seeing whether the ball has been grounded or not. No ball. I don't see any ball at the moment. So if it's not conclusive, the try will not be awarded. Tanila Tupo is 100% sure that he did dot that ball down. I can't see whether that ball has been grounded, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just hear what the referee... Well, I can't hear anything. And there's going to be another yellow card to the Brumbies and a penalty 5 meters from the try line for the Reds, right in the middle of the field. So now's the time to go for that scrum. It's the smallest of margins, ladies and gentlemen. I personally felt Danilo Tupou did score that try, but you couldn't see him ground the ball. So whether he did dot it down or not, unfortunately, it wasn't conclusive. And we will have another scrum here with 2 yellow cards to the Brumbies. Henry Stowers getting the yellow card there for the Brumbies. No time left on the clock. 5 meter scrum to the Reds, trailing by 4 points. An unconverted try will do this for the Reds here. They need that big scrum now. They've got 2 forwards in the bin, is the Brumbies at the moment. So a massive scrum for the Reds here. Oh, that scrum goes down. So I wouldn't count this as a minute wasted because there's no time left on the board. But it is going to come down to the wire here. It's already, either way, whoever wins this game is going to deserve it. Who tried to score it was Danilo Tupou from the Reds. He was over the line, but you couldn't see him actually ground that ball. So I personally felt he did dot it down, Barry, but unfortunately the evidence wasn't there. And we have another reset scrum. So the Brumbies milking it at the moment. I don't know whether the referee will lose patience somewhere down the line. So whichever way the next mistake comes, whether it's from the Reds or the Brumbies, I think the referee will be penalizing that team. So the Reds need to be very careful now. They have a 2-man advantage in the scrum. So I don't know why they're struggling so much. Right in the middle of the field. Scrum to the Reds, dominating the whole game in the front row, and now have an opportunity to settle this. An unconverted try will win it for them. Penalty advantage coming for the Reds. So Angus Scott Young off the back. They're 2 meters short of the try line. Pick and go. So close again as the Reds. 2 meters out. Dane Zander could go now, goes to the back line. James O'Connor intercepted by Tom Wright. But we are going to come back for yet another penalty. We're 3 minutes over time already. And I guess they will go for yet another scrum here. So close. Daikunu wants to tap and go here. Will he do that? Yes, he will. Danilo Tupou driving it forward, 2 meters out. So close is the Reds from victory here today. Still 2 meters out. Ball comes back to the replacement scrum half. Now taken by Henry Stewart. 2 meters out from the try line, the Reds. Can they do this? Uru takes it up for them. 1 meter short. Still going as the Reds. 5 phases already. They just need to get this now. Oh, so close again, held up short. It is going to come back. And so close yet again, not getting there. And it looks like it's been held up there. And the referee might want them to go upstairs yet again. So much drama here. And, well, they are going to come back for yet another penalty. So they're not going to go upstairs for that one. Angus Scott Young. So close to that try line. Danilo Tupou going. Can he get there? Oh, he's got it surely. No, it's gone back to them. The cameras is off. It is a try to James O'Connor. And the Reds have won this final in the dying minutes here. What drama. The Reds have managed to steal this from the Brumbies. What a moment for the Reds here. Finally getting the trophy on their hands again. And what a win for the Reds. I don't see any trouble coming here. James O'Connor dots down. And the Reds have won this game after 5 minutes of overtime here at the Suncorp Stadium. Brilliant stuff from the Reds. Truly deserved this. What a comeback. The Brumbies have been dethroned as the Super Rugby AU champions. The Reds have done it, and the Brad Thorn era starts here today. What a win, what a player, what a moment. And what better player to get that winning try than James O'Connor for the Reds, the captain fantastic. And you can see just how much it means to the Reds there. I even got goosebumps by just watching this. What a final moment of the game. And, well, I don't see, yeah, they've got it. There's no reason to go upstairs for this one. And the Reds have done it. I don't even think James O'Connor need to go for goal here. He can just put it as skew as possible. Give it to Tanela Tupou to convert. But it is over, guys. The Reds have won Super Rugby AU. And this conversion has got absolutely no meaning at all. But he is going to take his time with it. Never mind. But what a fantastic ending to this game. Reds upsetting the Brumbies all time. 3 times this season. I never had a doubt. And I did say it was going to be close. I did give him for a 6-point victory. In the end, it is going to be, if he gets this conversion, a 3-point victory. If he misses, it's a 1-point victory. Well, he's surely taking his time with this one, and it goes over. So a 19 points to 16 victory for the Reds. Yeah, and what a way to do it. 19 to 16 full time here at the Suncorp Stadium. And what a moment for this Red side. Truly deserved it. And the Brumbies, in the end, can consider themselves very, very, very unlucky. What a final. This one is one of my favorites of the season. I think it's been more nail-biting than the Crusaders Chiefs one. The Reds gets the victory, and they can start celebrating. Hope you guys enjoyed this game. I certainly did. I will see you guys later on for the Stormers. Well, firstly, the Lions versus Sharks game, and then afterwards, the Bulls versus Stormers game. Congratulations to Brad Thorn, James O'Connor, and his Reds team. Thoroughly deserved this in the end. And I will see you guys later on. Thank you for the support. Cheers for now.